This is Dumbed Down Life number 1.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 2.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 3.
You're listening to Dumbed Down Life number 4.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 5.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 6. Number 7.
Number 8.
Number 9.
Number 10.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 11. Once more for luck.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 30.
Down Life.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 14.
Number 16.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 17.
This is Dumbed Down Life 19. May the 4th be with you.
Number 20.
Shut up. This is Dumbed Down Life number 22. This is Dumbed Down Life 23. Please do not swear.
You're listening to Dumbed Down Life number 24.
Number 25.
Number 26.
27. 31.
This is Dumbed Down Life number 32.
Number 33. 34.
35.
36.
37. 38.
39.
40. 41.
42.
Number 43.
Number 44. 45. 46. 47.
Number 48.
49. This is Dumbed Down Life 50.
I hear bored people.
Blake Morgan with Maybe I'm Amazed. And frankly, I'm amazed, but we did manage it. We got to 50 shows. Hiya, Doug. Hello.
Yeah, sorry there, man. I was suffering from background noise problems. Apparently, I'm picking up the local air traffic again. How are you? Good to hear you.
Yeah, very good. And we've got a guest presenter. Hello, Leonie.
Good evening, fellas.
Hi, Leonie.
I must say I'm having the same problem. I'm having a lot of background noise as well, so obviously I'm getting the same air traffic problems even though I'm on the other side of the Atlantic.
You know, surprise me.
But hopefully it'll go away. It's something that we have every now. Darren seems to get it quite a bit, doesn't he?
Yes.
I'm just agreeing because that's just my way, I'm afraid.
Mind you, he lives near an airport as well, so it must be airport.
Well, it's good to have everybody here on this 50th show, and to those of you in the chat room, thanks for joining us today. It's good to have you with us. Now, I figured, as this is our 50th show, I do some research and look at some things that related to the number 50, and if nothing else, what I've found is that there isn't a lot that relates to the number 50, but let me see what I do have. Okay, now, bear with me just a second. I've gone a bit distant because I've got to lean back to look at my laptop and read this stuff.
Organised as ever.
Hey, no, I'm organised, I just can't squeeze in close enough to do it. Okay, the 25th even number is 50. Number of chapters in Genesis in the Old Testament is also 50. 50th word of the King James Version of the Bible's Old Testament Genesis is light. How many of you are math fans? Are any of you math fans? Because my math is appalling.
Yeah, I'm a maths fan.
You are a maths fan.
I'm not really. Not to head for figures at all.
No, me either. Numbers completely confuse me. So hopefully Lance will understand some of these, because I looked at them and went, oh, that's nice. Apparently the product of the first even and 13th odd number equals 50. The 214th and 215th digit of pi are both 50. The 50th day of the year is February the 19th. Tin has the atomic number 50. The 50th hexagram of the I Ching is Ting, the cauldron. The US flag, of course, has 50 stars representing the 50 states, with Hawaii entering the Union in 1960. There are 9 rows of stars staggered horizontally and 11 rows of stars staggered vertically. Counting the stars diagonally, you have 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 3 plus 1. And I'll give you all one big guess what that adds up to.
49.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Math was good. Okay, the word Pentecost in Greek means 50th. Jason and the 50 Argonauts sailed on a ship Argo on a quest for the Golden Fleece. There were 50 maids working at the palace of Alcinous when Odysseus visited Scheria. Excellent, I'm so glad for that. I have no idea what that means. Noah's Ark was 50 cubits in width. Something I have noticed about this, 50 seems to come up an awful lot in biblical and oldie-worldy stuff. Let me see what else we have here.
The number 7 does as well, but that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about now.
I'm sure there's some kind of clever math that would make 7 equal 50 somewhere along the line. 50 is apparently a hexagonal pyramidal number. You know what that means, Lance?
No.
No, me either.
I could only guess that if you... no. I was trying to picture it in my head, and it doesn't make sense. No, I have no idea.
Okay, well, I will make this one the last one. The moon is apparently 50 times smaller than the Earth. So there we go, a load of completely useless facts that you can impress your friends with about the number 50. Something I did notice, doing that intro that Darren put together, which was absolutely brilliant, there were 50 of them, and I was in about 3 of them.
You know when we get together each week and say, whose turn is it to say, this is Dumbed Down Life? And on the weeks that you are here, I'm not making any judgments, on the weeks that you are here, we always go, oh, it's your turn. And you say, no, it can't be my turn. Well, I think it probably was.
So essentially, you're blaming the fact that I'm never here.
I never said that at all.
That's just my guilty conscience raising its ugly head.
If the cap fits, dude.
It would do now I've had my hair cut.
Oh yes, yeah. Nobody knows this, do they? Because I doubt many people who follow the show follow your live journal, do they?
Many people that know me don't follow my live journal, so no, I very much doubt it.
I think it's just me.
Yes, indeed. When was it now? Probably 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Lance, wasn't it? Just after you left me.
About
I had my hair cut. Now, I've had long hair for, well over 20 years now. And occasionally I had it trimmed, but I never actually had it cut. And I've had it cut all short, all neat and tidy. And he pulled my ponytail together and took it off in one lump. Just snip, and it was gone. And I have to say that did bring tears to my eyes.
I have a plait like that from when I was 12.
Really?
So I used to be able to actually sit on my hair when I was that young. When I was 12. And
Really?
I still have the plait, so it's sort of it's over 20 years, so yeah. So it's still in existence.
I actually still have mine at the moment, but I'm not keeping it. The hairdresser, a very nice guy named Alex, asked me if I wanted to donate it, and it's going to be donated to a thing called Locks of Love, which is where they take hair that is 10 inches and longer, and mine I think was about 15 inches.
You're boasting now.
And they take hair that's 10 inches and longer, and they give it to a producer who produces hair pieces for children with cancer who've lost their hair. So I figured if nothing else, that was a good reason to have my hair cut. So when I get it in the envelope and I can bear to part with it, it's going to them. Yeah. And if anyone's interested, I'm sure we can stick the URL for that in the show notes.
Yeah, of course we can. Now, you say you're doing that. Do you get a photograph with the kid wearing your hair?
That would just be creepy, quite frankly. No.
That would, wouldn't it?
you know when, as is the thing that a lot of companies do now, instead of sending Christmas cards, you've sponsored a goat in Outer Mongolia or something, and the goat writes to you and tells you how he's getting on in Outer Mongolia.
They'd make far more money displaying a writing goat rather than have people sponsor it, sure.
You know what I mean.
But no, you can, when you send it in, you can give them your name, and they'll kind of put your name upon a wall of honour. But I'm far too reserved for that. I'm not that much of an ego. Given the work I do for charity.
But I don't like to talk about it.
Guys, this is Dave from the Bugcast, unnecessarily introducing myself. Just wanted to send you this message to congratulate you on reaching episode 50. As somebody who has listened to every single episode of your show, although admittedly I wasn't always there from the beginning, I certainly feel an element of pride for having sort of made this journey with you. Also, specifically because it was you guys that helped me, or inspired me to put my podcast together as well. So 50 episodes is no mean feat, and I just wanted to basically congratulate you guys. This is one take, by the way. Congratulate you guys on an awesome show, and here's to the next 50. All right, guys, take care. Bye bye.
Thanks for that, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, and hopefully we will have another 50.
Hopefully, yeah. I think Dave must be coming up for his 50 soon.
So if we've done 50, how long have we been going?
Nearly 12 months. In a couple of weeks' time, we've got the 12-month anniversary. I think we started on the 20th of December.
Wow.
So literally in 2 weeks' time, there'll be another anniversary of ours, and hopefully we're going to do some kind of best of.
That'll be a short show.
So
it sounds like fun to me. I think that would be quite interesting.
Yeah, hopefully it's just going to be it'll be a normal show, but probably instead of playing songs or something, we'll play little clips of some of the talky bits that we've done over the last year.
Great.
That's of course assuming that not both, you, Darren and myself actually managed to sort out some bits that we can remember and like. So we've got 2 weeks to do all the work.
Yeah, I don't remember any of it I like.
So, Leonie, it's your turn to take the stand, so to speak.
Right, okay. Well, Lance asked me to come up with a topic, and straight off the bat I came up with how the internet can change your life. And I've not come up with anything better, so I'm afraid you're stuck with it, alright? Because the internet has changed my life tremendously. This time in 1998, I was pretty lonely. I didn't really see any of my old school friends. I didn't really have any new friends particularly. I don't think I was even working at that point because, as some of you know, I've had agoraphobia since I was 15, and there's been spells where it's been worse, and it's been better, but it's really a lot better at the moment. And I think that is because of the internet and because of the great people I've met. I don't know how you two feel about that. How many people you've met like that? But I mean, I've met 4 boyfriends, including my current one, Matthew, who I should say hello to. I don't know he's listening in. But yes, it's done a lot for me. It really has. I've made so many friends. I think I counted I must have met about 70 people through the internet, and some of them are better friends than others, obviously. But
I'm just trying to think of anyone important I've met on the internet. I'm sure there's at least one. Oh wait, that's it, my wife, of course. Yeah, actually, Leonie, my wife and I, we met in a chat room good lord, it must be 7 years ago now. So I completely agree with you. I mean, the internet's totally changed my life. I mean, it's the reason I'm over here in the States. And of course, without it, I wouldn't be able to keep in touch with my dear friends, and friends like Lance.
Well,
I know you should separate the two there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, by this time in my life, I've learnt to.
We wouldn't have it any other way, would we? Darren met his wife over the internet, and I met my ex-partner Sam, the mother of my daughter. I met her over the internet as well.
I think, well, Dave, as in podcast Dave, is certainly somebody we've all I've certainly met him through the internet. I've known him for 7 years now and met him on a number of occasions with his wife. And I certainly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, because he was the one who sort of got me coming to listen to the Dumb Down Life. So he's certainly an important one.
He's a good lad, isn't he?
He is. He's great. He's so funny.
So I'm curious, do you guys do you find the internet you use just for social things? Good lord, I sounded like an airline pilot then, didn't I? We'll be flying at 5,000 feet. Mind you, good lord. Anyway, I digress. Do you find that you use it just for purely social things, or do you find you do you use it for other things as well? And obviously, bear in mind this is a family show. Let's not be rude here, Lance.
No, good lord. I did a lot of family history because of it. A lot of my family history research has come about because of. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but I've certainly done a lot through the internet and through people I've sort of made contact with over the internet. So I've sort of gone back into the 1300s with 2 branches of my family because of people I've sort of contacted and have exchanged information with.
Wow.
Did they have like live journal in the 1300s? Is that how you found them?
No.
Hey, I tell you what, I bet they had something similar, because I remember watching, there was a programme on here last year called Rome, which was on in the UK first, which was just superb. And they had a guy who would stand in the streets and he would read the daily news for the town and stuff like that, and at the end of it he would say, and this message has been brought to you by Pythikius the baker and stuff like that. So they had advertising back in Roman times, so you never know what else they.
Those bloody banner ads they get everywhere, don't they? As for using the internet for things other than social, yes, I pretty much use the internet for just about everything. And I do mean everything, but this is a family show, so we won't go into that. I use Google more than anything else, not just the Google searching, but Google Docs, the Google Calendar, the Google Spreadsheet. I have my sort of house budget sort of the bills budget and what I have to spend each week and all of that. All of that's on a spreadsheet in Google. The show notes for this show is done using Google Docs. I have various other things on Google Docs like wish lists, and I even keep a shopping list on Google Docs that I can sort of adjust and then take shopping with me so I don't go and buy stuff that I don't really need.
You're scaring me now, Lance. Remember, I've known you since 13 years old.
I've recently become incredibly organised, Doug.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, except for when it comes to booking your plane ticket, which you leave till the last minute.
No, I had to leave that to the last minute because I didn't have the money.
I mean, I have to say, I think the internet's incredible. The main thing I love about it is the fact that you can find out absolutely anything you want. Whether you believe the things you find out or not is a different matter, but certainly, Bob, my wife, and I will have a discussion about a particular song lyric, or we'll have a song lyric and we can't remember what song it comes from. And you can literally just type in a song lyric and it will tell you all about the song, all about the artist, and it's fabulous. And sort of staying on the music theme, one of the main things I use the internet for is downloading guitar tabs, because obviously I play guitar, and it's a great resource for guitar tabs, both for learning songs and for individual lessons and stuff like that. So that's mostly what I use it for, and of course, talking to Lance, which I have to do.
You make it sound like a chore.
It is. I think the internet has downsides. Obviously, there is sort of the dark, seedy side of the internet, but where you say that you can find anything out on the internet, it has kind of ruined certain competitions, not pub quizzes as such, but you get these they're like sponsored quiz sheets that you pay £1, you get a quiz sheet, you fill them in, take them back to whatever charity it is, and then the one who gets the most questions right wins a prize. Well, the internet and Google again specifically has absolutely screwed that kind of thing up, because it used to be a test of knowledge, whereas now it's a test of your Google searching ability, isn't it?
Well, no, not really. I mean, if you look at it this way, knowledge is just something you've learned, and wherever that knowledge happens to come from, and whether you learned it, 6 years ago or 2 minutes ago, is kind of irrelevant. It's still knowledge that you have. The fact that you looked it up on the internet rather than read it in a book or learned it from a teacher, it's still knowledge, so it doesn't make it any less valid.
It's quite an easy way, though, to find things, isn't it? It's perhaps... I don't even know if I can quantify what I'm trying to think here, but...
I think it feels like there's no work gone into it, whereas before you probably end up going down to the library.
No brain power.
Yeah.
No brain power.
Or the physical research you'd have to do to get the answers, going to the library or whatever.
A lot of the things I come up with when we even when we're I'm sitting in the back room in the chat room and you're sort of talking away on the show, and I'd come up with facts. A lot of that's just come off the top of my head, because I do know a lot of really stupid things, believe me. A lot of really inane trivia.
You're definitely the person to have on a pub quiz team, aren't you?
I do like to think I'm quite useful at that, yes.
Cheater, cheater, where'd you meet her? Down at Ernie's bar. Did she smile your way, twirl her hair and say how cute your dimples are? Did she use that line, your place or mine, while you danced with her real slow? Tell me, cheater, cheater, where'd you meet that no good white trash hoe? Liar, liar, did you buy her whiskey all night long? Did you hide your ring in the pocket of your jeans, or did you just keep it on? When the deed was done and you had your fun, did you think I wouldn't know? Tell me, cheater, cheater, where'd you meet that no good white trash hoe? Now I'm not one to judge someone that I ain't never met, but to lay her, 'cause you're stuck with her now. Take your sorry button-note of all your stuff and get the hell out of my house. But I just wish you'd tell me this one thing before you go. Cheater, cheater, where'd you meet that no-good white trash hoe? Now I'm not one to judge someone that I ain't never met, but to lay your hands on the married man's about as low as a cow can get. Hey, I wish her well as she rots in hell, and you can tell her I said so. Cheater, cheater, where'd you meet that no-good white trash hoe? Yeah, I just wish you'd tell me this one thing before you go. Cheater, cheater, where'd you meet that low-down uptown, slept with every guy around, dressed on eyelash, no good white trash?
Cheater, cheater there from Joey and Rory. Now, just a little background on these two. They're a husband and wife team of country singers who were first discovered on Can You Duet on country music television, and who now do an advert for a company called Overstock.com. And Bob and I, my wife, happened to hear the advert and kind of liked it, so we went and did some research on them. And these two are just amazing. Not everybody likes country music, of course, but certainly living over here in redneck country, you kind of can't help listening to a lot of country and getting into it. And they're brilliant. They're unbelievably talented, and they do some really, really great songs. They've got a cover version, actually, of Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd, which is just so sweet. They do the most wonderful harmonies. So if you get a chance, get out on the net, look them up and listen to some of their stuff, because if you like that song, Cheater, Cheater, I guarantee you will like the rest, and they're called Joey and Rory.
You're listening to Dumbed Down Life.
Okay, so in my usual style, I thought of my topic about 5 minutes ago. About 5 minutes before the show started. I'm sitting there, I'm preparing all the music, I'm writing the show notes out, I'm making sure the connection's okay with Leonie, all the time sitting there thinking, what the hell am I going to talk about?
I'm disappointed, Lance. That's just so incredibly unprofessional of you.
Yeah, it's been happening for the last 50 shows, mate, so you should be used to it by now. Now, what I did think, what I had to do before I started the show, started doing all this, was I had to put some washing in. Bear with me.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Lance. I don't want to know about your dirty undies.
Now, a few weeks ago, probably about 3-4 months ago actually, I came home from work one night, put my washing into the washing machine, and then left. It was my night to go and pick up my daughter from Nottingham. So I sort of popped home, threw some washing in the machine, and then left to drive to Nottingham. By the time I got back, there was a letter sitting outside my door, hand-scribbled note, saying that there's been a leak, I've had to come in and turn all the water off, the flat downstairs is flooded, it's gone into the shop right at the bottom, and we've got a bit of a problem, thanks, your landlord.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, my washing machine broke down, basically.
Pretty drastic.
Yeah, the drum, the seals on the drum had gone, and the water just leaked everywhere. Now, of course, the problem was, because the drum wasn't filling up, the water kept coming.
Did you say the seals on your drum had gone?
I did, yeah.
That's what you get for trusting mechanics to small furry animals.
Yeah, so of course, the drum never filled up, and the water just kept streaming out. So basically it flooded my flat, the flat below me, and the shop below that. Consequently, as the washing machine was the part of the flat that I rent, the deal was when I moved in that there's a washing machine there. If it breaks, no problem, but it's not part of the flat as such, so it's there for you to use, but when it breaks you've got to replace it, job done, sort of thing.
Okay.
So of course I haven't had the money to replace it, and I've been using my dad's washing machine or my sister's washing machine, and frankly it's a pain in the arse having to go down to somebody else's house and do your washing. So I've been hand washing.
Oh dear.
Long story way of getting around to it, but I've been doing I started this week doing my washing by hand, and I've also been baking my own bread. And I'm just sort of thinking, well, this is fairly sort of ecologically friendly, isn't it? I'm not using the electricity, I'm not using all of the water that a washing machine uses. Basically what I've got is a little paddling pool that my daughter uses. When she's over here, she uses it to have a shower in. And what I've been doing is basically filling out up with water from the shower, chucking in a washing machine tablet, and getting in there, sort of mixing them around and washing my clothes.
Well, that's one way of doing it, I suppose.
It's the only way I can do it, because otherwise I've got to travel. Because both my father and my sister, they live in a different town to where I live. And frankly, it's a real pain in the arse having to go over there, either wait for it to be washed, then bring it back, or then have to have somebody else bring it over. It's just too much grief. But I just sat there and thought, well, this is actually quite green, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
I'm still stuck with an image in my head of Lance with his trousers rolled up, stomping around in a paddling pool full of clothes.
Oh, you're getting that image as well, are you?
Hey, you're lucky I've not taken it down to the Nen and smacked it against some rocks.
Actually, we're more lucky you've not gone back to Roman times and started using urine to clean your clothes.
Well, it got me to thinking, to the point of the story, it got me to thinking, how sort of green are you two? Is there anything you do that sort of, because it's sort of a hot topic, isn't it, at the moment, what you ought to do, you know, you ought to be green, you ought to go on your bike to get to work instead of using your car, you should recycle. Is there anything you guys do that's particularly green? And please don't say no.
I'm nice to animals.
I use buses quite a lot.
You use what, sorry?
Buses.
Buses?
And trains, a lot of buses and trains.
Because you don't have a car, do you?
I don't have a car, no. I have a licence, but I don't have a car.
Now, over in America, Doug, is it a widespread thing being sort of green? I know when I came over and we visited, I can't remember the name of the two, Tim, was it? Tim and...
Jocelyn, yes.
Jocelyn, thank you. I know they recycle, don't they? Because they made a point of asking you to put the beer bottles in the right bin.
Yes, they do recycle, but Tim drives a 4-litre 4x4 and Jocelyn drives a 2+ litre coupe, so I'm not sure what benefit the recycling really is. As for me personally, I have to be honest, I am probably the most ungreen person in the world. When we go to bed at night, we leave several lights on. AC is on all the time, which it kind of has to be here because it gets so incredibly hot. If I pop to the shop round the corner, I tend to drive. So I'm about as ecologically friendly as the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Do you feel that you ought to do more, or do you just not care?
If I'm perfectly honest, I just don't care. I'm of the firm belief that, we're a blink in the eye. And I think there's a lot of hoo-ha about it. I think a lot of it is an unproven science, and there are a lot of people panicking for nothing. And I think that whatever damage we do, it'll be repaired, and when we're gone, it'll go back to normal, and we won't even have had an effect.
I have to say, I do agree with you 100% there.
Yeah, so do I.
I thought I was going to get lynched then.
No, good lord, no. I mean, we have the bag thing. Do you know about the bag thing, Doug? Try not to use bags.
What, at the supermarket?
Yeah, they're sort of launched this big thing in the last, I don't know how long, sort of 2 or 3 years, I suppose, where people are trying not to use so many bags. And I work for a renowned high street retailer, and obviously we give out a lot of bags, but we get the, oh, I want to save the planet, I don't want a bag speech so often. And you get so sick of hearing it. And what's one bag? They've made the bag. Take it. They make lots of bags. Good Lord. The piles of bags we have in the stockroom is just, well, if people could see that, I think they'd be quite shocked as to how many bags we actually have laying around. But
no. I think some supermarkets here do that, but certainly I know our local food line doesn't. I mean, they bag everything. You buy a bag of potatoes and they put it in a bag, and I always think that's ridiculous. Not from an ecological point of view, but because the potatoes are already in a bag. Why do they need another bag? So no, I mean, our local supermarket certainly doesn't do that. I mean, they throw bags at you left, right and centre.
No, whereas we have to ask. That's one of the things we're told you have to do. We have to actually ask, say, well, do you need a bag? But I never say need a bag. I say, do you want a bag? And that's kind of not quite so forceful, I feel. It's not saying you mustn't have a bag. That's, you can have one if you like.
Yeah, it's a loaded question, isn't it? Do you need a bag?
We're not going to play a bum trip on you. Do what you like.
I think the thing is, I think we are having an effect on the planet. But it's really only going to affect the planet and the people that live there and the animals that live here while we're still here. Like Doug said earlier, once we're gone, and we will go long before the planet goes, it'll recover, and it will be like we were never here.
Well, I mean, here's an interesting point I heard some time ago, and I don't know how valid this is. I just thought it was rather fascinating. There was a scientist on, and he was discussing the fact that the big problem with global warming will hit the underdeveloped countries rather than us. That, you know, we as developed countries have the technology, the finances, so on and so forth, to cope with it admirably, and we'll have no real problem. Excuse me. But it's the underdeveloped countries that'll have the problem. And he was explaining that it would actually cost less to help the underdeveloped countries deal with global warming than it would to make us try and stop global warming. Plus, I mean, I'm not entirely convinced about the whole global warming thing anyway, simply because of the fact that weather records, you know, go back, what, maybe 100, 200 years, and how much you trust weather records from 200 years ago. And given that the Earth is, 6 billion years old, something silly like that, we have no idea if this is just a natural peak, if it's man-made, or anything. And there's another interesting point. I'm not sure most people are aware of this, but our carbon emissions, we only actually contribute 3% of the carbon that's in the atmosphere. The rest of it comes from completely natural sources. Now, I'm not saying that global warming isn't real. I'm not saying it is real. I'm not saying if it is real, it is or isn't our fault. I'm just saying I honestly don't think there's really enough evidence at the moment to panic like we are, and I think it's just a lot of tree huggers jumping on a wagon and having something to rant and rave about and try and make the rest of us feel guilty about. And I don't feel guilty, because one of the big arguments is always, well, you know, think what we'll leave behind for our children. I don't care, I'm not going to have children.
I think, Christ, completely lost my train of thought there.
Was that because of my incredibly stunning and valid point, Lance?
No, it was something to do with the point you made, but I can't remember what the point was that you made.
Oh dear.
Oh, the weather records, that was it. Like you say, they only go back 200 years, and you're saying that can you trust records from 200 years ago? And I don't think you can, because the instruments they used back then were far less sensitive than the ones we have now. So you're making a comparison with old technology, so there could easily be a 2 or 3 degree discrepancy between their measurements and our measurements, which then gives you a 2 degree warming over the last 200 years, and my God, that's an awful lot. In actual fact, it might not actually be any change at all.
Well, I mean, I've always thought that I'm sure perhaps they adapt and adjust the figures according to the inaccuracies of old equipment. But Mark's just made a reasonably valid, well, I say reasonably, I don't mean to sound patronising, a valid point in the room about the fact that they use ice core samples from the last couple of 100,000 years, which is, all very well, but the Earth is 6 billion years old. A couple of 100,000 years doesn't really tell you a great deal.
And also,
in the same way, increases in the last 200 years, I mean, that's barely even a blink in the eye of the age of the Earth. And like I say, I'm not saying it's not real. I'm just saying I think there are a lot of people jumping on a bandwagon without having all the facts.
And also the ice records that they use, they don't know for certain what was. I mean, I guess they use the ice records to measure carbon content and temperature and that kind of thing. But it's all guesswork, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's educated guesswork, but nonetheless it is still guesswork.
Expect to see
when they say to you, it was like this, 200,000 years ago, I just wish for once they'd say, we think it was like this, instead of telling us like it was fact,
Yeah, exactly. Because it's all sort of guesswork, isn't it? We would reasonably expect a given temperature for that ice core to have that sort of property. Oh, yes, it does, so we must be right. Now...
Well, hang on. I'm sorry, Mark's just explained, that with the ice cores, he said hundreds of thousands of years. Again, I'm sorry, Mark, I still stand by my point. Hundreds of thousands of years out of 6 billion years is still nothing.
It is, yeah. But science has been wrong before with what they expect to see from that sort of time ago, millions of years ago, whatever. Take the dinosaurs as an example. The common sort of modern held belief of how the dinosaurs looked and behaved is dramatically different to the belief of how they looked and how they behaved in say 100 years ago, because we have more information, so we're only going on what we expect to see now, given our current knowledge and our current scientific thinking, which in 50 years' time might be completely reversed by some other discovery.
Absolutely. And Mark brings up the valid point again. What if science is right? If science is right, the Earth will still survive.
Yeah, I think the major worry about global warming and sorry, it's not global warming anymore, is it? Climate change, is its effect on us. Which... it's like you say, it's a blink in the eye. We're going to disappear long before the planet does. Who really cares what effect it has on us?
No, the planet certainly doesn't.
No, and it will recover. Whatever we do to it, it'll recover.
Of course it will.
Have a seat and listen. Please don't say a thing. In matters of the heart sometimes the truth will have a sting. Just don't take it personally, this is no attack. But we will never last because I'm white and you are also white. I only like black girls, the brown girls, the cafe au lait. Caramel girls and mocha girls just blow me away. If you are Nubian, I want you to be in every fantasy. But if you're a whitey, say nighty-nighty, you're just not the girl for me. Oh, I hate vanilla ice cream, I like chocolate instead. I hope she likes her soul food with a little Wonder Bread. Don't call it jungle fever, cause that just isn't right. I am not a racist, some of my best friends are white. I just prefer black girls, the brown girls, the cafe au lait. Caramel girls and mocha girls just blow me away. If you're a cracker, you better get blacker or else you best get out. It is no mystery, I like a sister, see that's what I'm talking about. Our wedding song will be ebony and ivory, and we'll sing Christmas carols round the old Kwanzaa tree. But color is not the issue here, it's dignity, it's class, it's all about her heart. Okay, it's partly about that ass. I want me some black girls, the brown girls, the cafe au lait. Caramel girls and mocha girls just blow me away. If you're a honky, you're singing the wrong key, it's the honest truth. The skin that she's dwelling in must contain melanin, that is the fountain of youth. Thomas Jefferson. Robert De Niro. David Bowie. To a certain extent. Ted Danson. Strong Thurman, strong Thurman, yeah.
Stephen Lynch and Vanilla Ice Cream. Where the hell did you find that, Doug?
I saw him perform it on Comedy Central the other night, and of course I went out onto the web and found it and found more of his stuff. So I just particularly like that song. And just to give you more reference, in case you don't know who Stephen Lynch is, he's a white guy.
Fair enough. Well, I'm all out of topics. Does anybody else have anything else they would like to say?
I don't think so. I struggled enough to come up with my things related to 50.
And I would just like to say thank you for inviting me onto the show, and it's been interesting and difficult to get a word in edgeways, I have to say.
It's been a pleasure having you, Leonie, and we apologise for that. I guess it's kind of difficult. Lance and I talk at 1,000 miles an hour, and we rarely shut up when we're together, so don't feel bad.
I forgive you. I forgive you.
Thank you for joining us, Leonie. It was a pleasure.
I'm glad.
You can call the Dumbed Down Life crew on 07092 274 759.
You can follow us on Twitter. Our account name is Dumbed Down Life.
The email address is ddl.podshow@gmail.com. The website address is www.dumbeddownlife.com.
Failure is not an option. It comes bundled with Windows.
Just to finish off, I'd like to again thank Leonie for joining us, and hopefully next week we'll have all three of us back again. Has it been a while since all three of us were together, Doug?
No, we did the one while you were here a couple of weeks back.
Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
I've got to start taking my tablets again. My memory's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, you were too busy being high on Southern culture.
It was fantastic. I have to say, it was brilliant, and I can't wait to come back.
Oh, God help us.
Right, we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.